Game one, things started well for the visitors, and Smith decided to bat. But Herschel didn't. That brought Jacques to the crease, and he was callous. A partnership developed, but Smith got himself in a spin. Then Rudolph tried to reverse the trend. Callis's dismissal was a reference point. And Boucher attempted to keep things going. Vast experience, however, had other ideas. Not once, but twice. And soon South Africa ran out of steam in the nick of time. .264 to win, and Sunnuth began in a hurry. But Dawson bailed South Africa out. Gunnar Wardner wasn't ducking the issue, and Boucher had the gunner in his sights. Kumar was obviously in good nick, but it was a case of 6 and out. At the other end, Marvin was marvellous, but the running between the wickets was getting interesting, and Bayer intercepted again. When Zulu got rid of Sri Lanka's warrior, things were getting tight. But then Cashel cashed in to finish the game in style. 1-0 to Sri Lanka.
So it would be Sean Pollock, the first ball of the match. Good bounce and carry to keeper Boucher. Oh, that's beautifully played. Squared the wicket, and that's running down for 4. Half volley length, but the wicket was there, and Sanath Jayasuriya, he doesn't leave those without being punished.
Oh, what a start by this fella here. Really was a lovely shot. Square of the drive. He's so good square of the wicket, and if you bowl a little bit close to the pads, he'll drop kick you over square leg.
Oh, that's beautifully played into the gap on the offside. The timing was absolutely exquisite. Getting on the front foot, giving it direction, and the ball just screaming through.
Well, that was a great shot, it really was, but Pollock is not happy with his fieldsman there. Duminy, he believed he should have got a hand on that, but unfortunately for him, he was on the old pitch there, and he couldn't quite get his spikes into the ground and dive to his left.
Oh, that's nicely played. Short, stood up tall and punched it through that offside. Again, the placement was excellent.
Oh, that was a gimme. It really was a gimme. Had a bit of chocolate syrup and nuts on this for an opening batsman in form. Look, this is in the slot short. You just put your hands through that. That's 4. You don't miss those. They're gimmies. Didn't like to use the feet, and that's another reason why sometimes he doesn't play well. I've seen him nick balls like that to slip.
It's again on the leg side. He forces it into that area just for the single. Yes, I think the good thing about the Sri Lankans is they've got a right balance in this one-day team. They've got players at the bottom who can play the big shots.
Well, that's exactly right, Ranjit. Chamunda Vas, we know, can whack it. Chandana can smash it. Lokagarachi hit a beautiful 6, of course, to win the match, and Dilshan. So they've got power hitters down the depth. So it's really a good balanced lineup for the Sri Lankans, who now I think can play well anywhere in the world.
Oh, great delivery. That really went through Sanat Jayasuriya. Sean Pollock keeping the ball up, getting that little bit of movement. Jayasuriya cramped for space and left that gap going, which where the ball crept through.
Oh, it really was a good delivery. Sean Pollock here just cramped him up here on the ball. Let's have a look at it. It was a nice, good leg cutter. Rolled his fingers over it, and he just right through him, beating for pace and everything. He's looked up and in the area. Well, I don't think he was watching the ball enough there, but made an awful sound, and that's the sound you don't like to hear when you're a batsman, let me tell you. We've experienced that a few times, and now the dangerous Jayasuriya goes for 9, Sri Lanka 18 for 1.
So the new batsman, the captain Marvan Athapattu, 217 matches with an average of 37.11. He's on 6,902 runs. Cuts and cuts well, very well played into the gap again before. A superb shot.
Oh, the left-hand, right-hand combination again is working there for the Sri Lankans. And I tell you, the South Africans aren't happy. This is a gimme ball again, short and wide, and he's just jumped on it as a good player would. And Sean Pollock is not happy with himself there.
Oh, this is in there, and that is gone down for 4.
Oh, he's dangerous, sometimes not pretty. He took his bottom hand off it because, again, I thought it done him in pace because it was only at 124 kilometres per hour. And he just takes his bottom hand off it. He knew he did him in pace, but he thought, well, I'm going to go over top of covers. And it's a slower one, bit of width. Again, no footwork, really. And goes for 4. Luck's of fortune.
Again the outside edge, but this time finds the man at the third man. 5 off the over, 28 for 1. This is Dawson. And again up in the air. It's a great shot by Avishka Gunawardene. That was short. Avishka Gunawardene had a crack at it outside off stump, and that's soared over. Back with a point for 6. What a fine shot. This man's got a lot of muscle. Just look at this.
Gee, that's a good shot. That is a beauty. That is Marvan Athapattu at his best. What a way to finish the over as well. 11 runs coming from it, 44 for 1. There's a net. Got him. What a great start for Makai basically off the face of the blade of Mark Boucher, who had a good night the other night. Bit of shock in the stands, but that's an important wicket.
Very important wicket. Tape, no tape. Makai runs up, gets the ball in the right place, finds the outside edge, and that's the end of that. And of course, that's what he's paid to do, and that's what he's done pretty well over the years for South Africa. A really thick edge there, always vulnerable in that area. Tends to try to run the ball to third man whenever he can't smash it down the ground. There's the reaction of Ntini, and why wouldn't he have a smile on his face? It's a big wicket. And now the Sri Lankans are 45 for 2.
Kumar Sangakkara has certainly been in terrific form of late. Didn't really get going in the first one, David. Of course, is outstanding in the Test match. That average is a little bit lower than what he would like. Tries to catch it, but a couple of bounces down to Lance Klusner.
So Sangakkara off the mark. He's the man they want. Talking about techniques, it's really worth having a look at him. Kumar Sangakkara is a back foot player in the main, and that allows him just to play his shots just a little bit later. He's considered to be a future captain of Sri Lanka. This one pitching short outside leg stump, and you can see that he doesn't mind going for his shots there. If you're going to get him, there's obviously a chance early on of getting him caught behind, caught in the slipped gully area, because he does go rather like most of these Sri Lankan batsmen. He does go after it. That's one of the fantastic things about cricket in this country. Basically, they are attacking cricketers, and that's really good.
White called. Bit of exercise from umpire Gamini Sorb. Had a good night the other night on Friday. 43 years of age. And his 15th one-day international today. The other bloke, we've seen him around a bit. From New Zealand, Billy Bowden, wouldn't be watching the Tri-Nations rugby last night, which is understandable. He was very dark in the test match in Colombo when the Kiwis got knocked out of the race. 41 years of age. Looking for two. Sangakkara is very, very quick between the wickets. He'll come back. He does turn blind. Alliance Clears has had a bit of a fumble, so they might be able to scramble another here. And they do. They come back for three, so that's very good running. And that'll frustrate Graham Smith. It'll frustrate Mackay-Ntini, even though he did pick up the wicket. 6 off the over. 51 for 2. That is the perfect delivery. That's exactly where Mackay-Ntini's got to be. Pace is good as well. 139 k's per hour.
Yes, if you can generate a bit of pace in Asia, no matter where you play, it's going to make a difference. There's no doubt about that. Over the years, I mentioned their ability against spin. They almost brought up on spin. But you just get a little bit of pace going, and the odd bouncer as well. I think it's always a good idea to keep the Indians and the Sri Lankans in particular thinking about the short ball.
Glorious. Magnificent drive for extra cover. Graham Smith might as well stop chasing that.
Well, it's 2 now off the front foot that he's hit absolutely superbly. Just watch the balance here. Doesn't try and hit it too hard. Right into the gap. That was right into the slot for him, wasn't it? Marvin Adapadu is looking pretty good. 17 off 18. 4 fours at the moment.
He doesn't mind that region, that's for sure. Now let's wait to see what Mackay-Ntini follows up with here, because I agree with you, Tony. The odd short delivery I think is very valuable in the one day since the change of the rule. We haven't seen one short ball, one bouncer yet from South Africa. It's got that one past the inside edge.
Yes, I think he might have been, you see, that delivery, I think Adapadu might just have been thinking about what is he going to let me have now, and again, that ball nips back a little bit. It goes between bat and pad, and on this pitch, that's a bad effort, really. Seam upright, comprehensively beaten on that occasion. We've heard Dean Jones highlight the fact that Marvin Adapadu struggles a little bit when the ball nips back, and that was a bit of an example. There was a bit of a gap between bat and pad.
Well, good carry too. Good pace again, 139 k's per hour from Mackay-Ntini. So a couple of good deliveries after being driven through the offside for 4. So Sean Pollock's last over, 6 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 22, was a maiden. You mentioned the fact that maybe his death bowling days are finished. Would you keep him on, Tony? Keep him for 1 more, or give him a breather like he normally has?
Who cares? Give him a breather, I reckon.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Marvin Adapadu. He has played superbly through that region, the offside today.
Yeah, I think they probably need a bit of a change down that end. He's starting to look a bit too comfortable. And really, from Mackay-Ntini's point of view, he's bowling the odd really good delivery. And then every now and again, he pops one up in the slot there and gets smashed for 4. So at the moment, the South Africans are a bit erratic.
Nicky Bier in the shooting gallery. Whipped away leg slide.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a gripe with some of those friends of yours in these seafood restaurants, and we won't name any names here, but the crabs in this country are huge. It seems to me you go to the restaurants and they serve up the miniatures, they serve up the babies for some reason. It's amazing. You go to some of these private homes, I don't know whether they just know where to go and buy them, but it is just unbelievable. So we've got the best pineapples and the best crabs.
And you can update us on the next 2 days when we get to Dambulla. That's well played, well worked. He's not averse to doing that, Marvin Atapatu. JB Durmany's had the skids on a couple of times today. Seen him go down on 3 occasions. Bit of a slipping and sliding performance.
Yes, this is an aspect of cricket that has crept in the last sort of 5 or 6 years. The slide, and they do it so well, don't they? Obviously a little damp out there.
This time that, but it's a single.
Major problem for me, Robin, is that we're about 63 minutes, 64 minutes into this game, and they've only bowled 13.2 overs, and they're down on the clock already. Now, whether or not 12.2 overs per hour, and I just wonder whether Mr. Clive Lloyd would be looking at that. I just have to pick it up a little bit, the South Africans, mainly because I think there's been a lot of field changes, and I'm not 100% whether Graham Smith has actually planned it properly. Marvin Atapatu's played brilliantly, and he just doesn't know where to set a field to him at the moment.
Nicely played. Be a couple, if not. Goodness me, what good timing. I really thought there was only 2 in that when he hit it, but it just raced away. This outfield a little bit quicker than it was on Friday. Good timing.
He's technically so good, this fella, Sangakkara. Just little whipped it off the hip, and he's hit it right in the middle of the bat. He must have a good stick too.
Bowling well enough to get him out. Outside edge, Atapatu. Good bowling. 2 in at him. Cramped him up. Little bit of width. Got him playing away from the body. Well bowled.
Certainly was, and I thought the other night he bowled really well, and thankfully turned around and asked for the appeal to the umpire, and he did it late, or he might get pinged by Clive Lloyd. But a good delivery, good seam. He ran in, outside edge, and a nice catch there at Boucher, and he knows he's got an egg, and then he realised, oh, I better turn around, and he appeals. Well done, Mackay. And he gets his 3rd wicket. So the dangerous Marvin Atapatu goes, the skipper goes for 26, and Sri Lanka 69 for 3.
Mahela Jayawardene, 166 matches, over 4,000 runs at an average of 30.
Brandon, your heat.
A risk of getting hit, running between the wickets, trying to get out of the way, but bounced with him. Ooh, a little bit naughty. It's only 1. JP Dumini's having a bit of fun in the field. He's on the end of the pitch there again, which isn't fun for him. But when you're bowling so well and you've got it all so tight, that almost feels like a boundary. Yes, it is. Well, what a turnaround this has been. What a wonderful spell of bowling from these two. Really has. They bowled in tandem. They've each got a wicket while they've been doing it, and they haven't gone for a run, or hardly a run. Beautiful seam position, bounce, forward defensive, comfortable catch to Boucher. Good cricket from the South Africans.
Well, it's a nice time he's been caught behind against the South Africans. So the dangerous Jayawardene, he goes for a duck off 12 balls, and Sri Lanka, well, 72 for 4.
Tilakaratne Dilshan, the mini hero on Friday, helped his side through to victory in a tense run chase.
It's beautifully driven here by Sangakkara, but it's more a question of stroking rather than hitting it powerfully. Good delivery, nipping back on Dilshan. The bowlers have been doing something on this pitch and on these conditions, which really haven't had much force swing, but there you are, that's a bit of a cutter, and it's coming sharply on Dilshan.
We have seen one or two deliveries also just disturb the surface a little bit. And certainly that last move with Lance Blues, just a little bit of unsettling, and also landing right on the seam. There you go, just going through the top of fraction, landing right on the seam and getting some good grip off that seam with that off-cutter from Clues. And that came back some distance.
It's pulled away, but there's a man down for cover, just off the mark, Dilshan.
Dilshan played very well on Friday night. In the end, he was not out 38, 37 deliveries, and certainly played a very important hand in obviously Sri Lanka getting up and winning that one. And Lokarachi, who just was there for a little brief time right there, was not out on 11. With that magnificent 6 also to finish the game. So they'll know their work's not totally done South Africa, but according to plan, that's how it's gone so far.
That's the outside edge, just falling short. Sangakkara again, the soft hands, the fact that he doesn't thrust his bat hard at the ball.
There's been some very good planning done here by Graham Smith. There's no slip in position. Obviously, those off-cutters are in operation from Clues. Just the solitary gully. Now, that wasn't too far away from carrying. Obviously, it didn't. Kumar Sangakkara, also a left-hander. We know that from time to time he's been caught in that region also, just through opening the blade of fraction. You can almost feel, almost see his mind working overtime, Sangakkara, at the moment. He's a terrific thinking cricketer. He's been there for an hour. It's not his normal strike rate, that's for sure.
Yes, Sangakkara's success is been the fact that he's been able to think for himself out in the middle. A slow delivery once again. End of the over, 7-6 for 4. Runs up. Nicky Boy. It's a little bit of a touch, and that's running down. So some runs after a while.
So it's exactly what Nicky Boy didn't want to do. He knows that Kumar Sangakkara is one of those guys who likes to just tuck it around the corner. He's good over being a little bit undone. The previous over him being undone with the first delivery. He was very annoyed with himself as well. Once again, we see an indication of how much turn there's going to be on this track a little bit later as well. They've certainly got some spinners, but the line was the problem for Nicky Boy. So he's got some hard work here. They've got to get buzzing through these overs. They've got to try and scoot through some overs and take Sri Lanka by surprise a little bit. Spending far too much time chasing the bowler Graham Smith and getting the field placements right, which yes is an important part of it, but the man on the right, Eric Simons, I think should be sending some sort of message out. He'll be delighted with what's happened in respect to the scoreboard, but that over rate is so slow. There's going to be some overtime in this innings.
You're absolutely right. I think when the overs keep on ticking, the balls go through quickly. The batsmen really suddenly find themselves in a situation where the overs have exhausted and they haven't really got sufficient runs.
You tend to spend quite a bit of time at this stage of the innings scoreboard watching. End of the over, you'll go out there and you'll have a chat to your partner and you look up the scoreboard, you work out where you want to be in 5 overs time, for example. And if the overs are suddenly going by, you look up and you've missed 3 or 4. You haven't planned for them. And Bier can do that sort of thing. He can rush batsmen.
So the Sri Lankans just looking for those singles. Singles do get them closer, but they probably need a few boundaries. But risks at this stage certainly not possible.
I can't think of a better example, Ranger, than Sanath Jayasuriya. If he was bowling the moment, which is normally the case, he'd be zipping through his overs as quickly as possible.
Yes, the Sri Lankans certainly do that very well with the spinners they have, and they really don't take too much time with their short run-ups. They just rush through the overs, and even bowlers who aren't really not the recognized ones really come through in situations like that. And this really is an ideal time for Nicky Boy and to look at that type of approach. That's neatly played away.
Yeah, it's clever for Sangakkara. He knew the man was fairly fine, saving the one in 45 on the leg side. Hasn't had too much strike of late to Lukeratne Dilshan. Faced 15 balls for his 4-not out, which is pretty much out of character for him. So he will now, if he can get inside his mind, he'll now be feeling just a little bit of pressure, getting some advice from Sangakkara.
Using the feet, but really didn't get hold of that properly. End of the over, 86 for 4. Oh, that's in there, and that's gone. As you did mention, Hazy, the Sri Lankans just not been able to break through the stranglehold, and a good delivery coming back onto Dilshan, just parred at that, and a very soft dismissal.
A very important dismissal as well, Callis, in his first over. He has the habit of striking early when he comes in the attack. Bit of extra bounce as well. And Sean Pollock had no trouble whatsoever, and a big smile on his face as he started to hit the deck there. And you'll see one from Shark Callis also. So it's a big wicket, that one. They're just checking that flow again, the run flow. And this time it's the man who got some runs the other night. A very important knock then. Not today. Gone for 5. 86 for 5.
So the Sri Lankans now down to their lower half. That's Upul Chandana, the new batsman.
Keep picking up the singles and of course watch out for run-outs. They tend to get themselves in a bit of a hole there. Now I've seen in recent times actually Upul Chandana play really well. I don't think he is a slogger. I think he's got to play a constructive game. Now against the West Indies, I think it was in Barbados, just last year, made something like 80-odd in 70-odd balls. So he really can play very well if he gets going. That one's in the air, one bounce to deep square leg. Oh boy, just for a second there I think they thought they had him out, and had they got Sangakkara out, that would have been the end of that. Look at the captain.
It was one of those dreaded ones, wasn't it? The fielder is Alan Dawson. How quickly he picked the ball up, we're not sure. A pavilion in the background. It's just one of those, oh, I can catch that. Oh, should I?
Yeah, I think that's fair comment. A couple of runs here. Their backup bowlers have definitely bowled better. And the other thing is the Sri Lankans have played into their hands a little bit. You cannot score 20 in conditions like this and then get out. And of course, two of their key players did that. We saw Sanat Jayasuriya going pretty well. Got himself into the 20s, and then that was the end of that.
It's nicely worked away. I'll get a couple here. Smith in pursuit. Sri Lanka scored just 24 runs from 13 overs in the second hour of the innings. Good fielding here, the on-time slide. So popular around the world now. From 19. Change of pace. 7 from 20. 97 for 5.
Well, the runs are starting to come. These two, particularly Chandana, may be the man today. A great opportunity for him.
If you were Graham Smith, would you have thoughts in your mind as to whether you carry on with Boye? That brings up a century at 100 for Sri Lanka. Carry on with Boye and Palace or whatever. Or would you think to yourself, well, why don't I get Pollock and Tini back into this and maybe nip another 2 out or 1 out anyway?
I'd be pretty happy to go along at the moment. I think Boye is doing a pretty good job. I mean, no wicket for 17, conceding only 3 and over. Callis only 2 and over. He's taken a wicket. He's got 1 for 6. So I'd let it go a little longer. I think they deserve a couple more overs each. And look, the way Sri Lanka are playing at the moment, they're looking to pick up the ones. That's about it. There's nothing. They really are in a bit of a hole. 101 for 5. 30 overs gone. And things are going along nicely. I know I'd be happy if I was Smith, just for another 4 overs or so.
Nearly the run-up you were talking about. 101 for 5. square. Once again, the boundary not found. The tempo just beginning to rise a little bit. Mind you, from 1 and over to 3 and over, it's pretty obvious. Good shot.
No reason why South Africa shouldn't be the same, but it tends to be a philosophical thing. I suppose every schoolboy wants to be a fast bowler as opposed to a spinner. That's the end of the over. It's 106 for 5.
The 10 sport.
Hitting the bat hard. It's bowling such a good length at the moment and no real width. So 1 or 2 will be tucked away on the onside there, but you can almost hear the ball hit the bat quite high up the bat, around about the splice area. It's difficult to get any pace on it or any timing on it when the ball hits there. Good padding on the bottom hand of Chandler's gloves there. I know the man sitting next to me was the pioneer of extra protection on, especially on your bowling fingers. End of the over, 108 for 5. Pollock. He replaces Giant Cullis, bowled 4 overs and taken 1 for 11. And Pollock needs just 1 wicket for 300 wickets in one-day internationals. He'll be the 7th player to reach that should he manage it. And also take him into the sort of 300 club, 300 wickets and 2,000 runs. Only Wasim Akram has that distinction.
So you've got to get all those figures in perspective. I think a great performance by Pollock, no doubt about that.
$111 for 5.
In the air, through the offside field, running away down towards the sweeper. He picks up. They're thinking about a second. The throw is high and wide, could have gone, but decided against it. Rudolph, the fieldsman down there. Yes, I wonder whether we should consider this as a bit of an... I think it probably should go down as an error. Have a look at this. The throw way over the top. And had the batsman been right on their mettle, they may well have gone through. Again, what do you reckon, Jack? Is error?
Well, it wasn't a very good throw, but it didn't give a run away.
Okay. You're pretty soft on these South Africans, aren't you? Look, I want to talk to you about Sobers as well. I as you know, do a lot of commentary down in Australia. They don't talk about Graham Pollock down there a lot. They've got some bad memories, those Australians, when it comes to Graham Pollock. He cleaned them up. I reckon he is the best batsman I've ever seen. I mean, I'm obviously talking about the people that I've actually played with and watched playing. Sobers, sure, the best easily all-round cricketer, but I honestly I feel quite sorry for Graham Pollock in the context of what I hear down in Australia, because I just don't believe anyone's ever been better than him. Bradman obviously apart. That one steered through the offside field and down to the boundary. The mind actually boggles as to what Graham might have done had he played a lot of Test matches. I just think that he is as good as it gets.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think a lot of people have often asked me who I think the best batsman is I've ever played against, and I actually normally come up with Barry Richards. I've played against him a lot more than I have against any other batsman because of his 12 years or so playing for Hampshire and 8 years of Currie Cup cricket in South Africa I played against. So I've played against him all the year round. Two contrasting players, obviously one right, one left. Graham, certainly the best left-hander that I've ever seen. Didn't play against him much. Oh, goal, with a bounce. Had a lasting memory of Graham whenever I did either play against him or watch him, was that he seemed to have the uncanny knack of hitting every bad ball he got for four and not hitting fielders, which is it sounds like an awfully simple thing to say, and maybe memory or time clouds the memory just a little bit. Did get some bounce there, really whacked that in. That did hit the splice. He just always seemed to get the ball past fielders for four when it was a poor delivery. Edge over the top of Boucher, and that will run away for the first boundary in 20 overs.
Isn't a pretty streaky one at that, just wide of Boucher. He was in the air, his left arm was certainly fully stretched, but there was no way he was ever going to catch that one. It was steered away, I think, by Sangakkara. He was certainly trying to get it in that direction, not quite as fine as that, I don't think, but that'll be a bit of a relief, a boundary at last. They got themselves seriously stuck here, the Sri Lankans have.
Cries of catch, and it's over the top of Graham Smith. It's running away for four, not too far over the fieldsman. And an important boundary, that one.
Chandana got a good piece of bat on this, but I still thought Graham Smith, tiny jump. Oh, he couldn't do any more than that. Luck's of fortune. Didn't get, how high did he get it on the bat? No, he got it inside on the bat, didn't quite get it in the middle, and well, got lucky there, didn't he? They're the risks you have to take, because 214 won't win it from here. It's an interesting thing you said there, Mike, because I honestly feel that if you're fielding well, you're batting well, and maybe a big score might be around the corner for him, but I still think he probably is worried about Chamundavas, or Dr. Death as we call him, swinging the ball back in. He's knocked him over 8 times, and he's knocked him over 3 or 4 times in Test cricket. Well, he's worried about that, but sometimes you worry about him too much, and Zoysa knocks you over, who swings the ball back in to the right-hander as well.
Looking for 2 is Kumar Sangakkara, and coming back for the second. That is really good running. That is good stuff. Certainly got the speed shoes on today, Sangakkara, laying between the wickets.
He's worked hard today. They've bowled pretty well to him, I thought. He's got 42 from 64 balls now, and he just clipped it well and placed it beautifully, and just had enough bat on it to pinch 2. So you always need a good runner like Chandana to support him as well, but he's got 2 boundaries. He's worked very hard, and you feel that their only chance for Sri Lanka to make a good score of 215, 220, 225 is because this guy here has to bat right through the 50 overs.
Looking for 1 again. He's got about another 13 overs and 1 ball to go as Kumar Sangakkara. Just going back to the point you were talking about when guys are batting well, they're fielding well. I know that Joel Garner, for example, when he was playing for that great West Indies side, he had a view that at times the West Indies side didn't have a particularly settled slip scored, although of course they had a couple of fine grabbers in there. And also when he was playing some first-class cricket around the world, if there was someone who was getting runs, he always wanted him in the slips, because he backed his ability and confidence to grab the ball if he got a nick. That's fine. He's got a nick. Running away for 4. Lance Klusener is not too happy with that last delivery. I think he might have said 4 there, but anyway, we'll come back and check that. End of the over. 9 runs from it. Only the 1 one man back straight, so that's good captaincy from Smith. It is Mackay at long off. He himself is going into the circle at mid-on, Graham Smith.
Well, what's Graham Smith on about here? This means that Bayo, he's bowled 6 overs. He'll have to bowl, he's bowling the 38th. He'll have to bowl the 40th, 42nd or 44th.
Good shot, Walton down the track. Mackay-Tini's going to tag it before it reaches the boundary. Well, that's an indication of sensible batting. And Kumar Sangakkara didn't go all the way through with the stroke, looking to chip it down fairly straight. He's quite wide, is Mackay-Tini.
Yeah, he just punched it down the ground. He wasn't committed to belter for 6, was he? He just wanted to get 2, keep himself on strike.
Just the one this time, moves him down to 47.
Can't go too hard yet. They've still got to go 4 or 5 runs and over here. It's about the 44th over, I feel, at least 2.
Playing this over very intelligently. 6 runs off it so far, but still 1 more remaining.
My little theory has been that once there's 5 wickets down, you go hard in the 45th, 6 wickets down, 46th over. Maybe you can drop that back a couple of overs, but you can't go too hard now. And I've got the feeling Sangakkara is looking to change gears now. He's only 47 at the moment, 3 away for another 50. Gee, he's had a good year, hasn't he?
Saw him coming. Marshall Gibbs was anticipating the right direction as well. So, interesting ball to finish. A dot ball, 144 for 5. And with the stylish hat, our Mr. Tony Greig is back. There you go, there's some supporters for Tony. Just a bit disappointing that I saw Tony actually writing that card at breakfast this morning.
And his hat is a rodeo king from the US of A.
Oh, it's a big shout. I thought it was 3, but it obviously was, and there must have been a bit of bat involved as well. Lance Clisney got very excited. Billy Bowden's not interested. Leg bye has been given. So obviously Billy Bowden says no bat and just pad.
I just heard a sound as if something hit the stumps. I just wonder, let's have a look here. It's going down for sure. It's hit him in the inside of the foot.
Looking for 2. Should have come back quite easily. They do so.
There's something there for Eric Simons, who is a bowler and the coach of South Africa. I would say to his bowlers to place themselves when they follow through to stay on the pitch a little bit, to upset the batsmen running between the wickets a little bit. You're allowed to hold your ground a little bit as a bowler, but I feel that he runs off the pitch itself. It gives an easy run between the wickets, so it's always nice to put an obstacle in the way sometimes.
You'd disappoint me if you didn't say that, Dino. There's the 50. Very, very good knock from Kumar Sangakkara. South Africans will be sick to death of seeing him with the willow in his hand. It's his first 15th 50 in his 113th match. And it's his 5th 50 versus South Africa in the 20th game. High score, by the way, 85 also against South Africa. They'll have to get past that if they're going to get a good total.
That's the place to bowl. They've got to have one of their bowlers at least getting it up into the drop hole. The captain of South Africa there, pretty angry about the fact that even that 1 run was conceded. Let's see if we can pick up what he was unhappy about. Right in the block hole, and he wanted someone to stop it. I suppose he was looking to the bowler.
Yes, in situations like this, you need every run to be saved. And there you are, sort of expressing his frustration and anger to some extent.
We've pulled that one away beautifully, bouncing away down to mid-wicket for 4. I don't think it's a good idea to bowl short to Kumar Sangakkara. He plays the pull shot very well, and on that occasion got it around about, where did he get it? Right to the middle of the mid-wicket area. Good shot.
He's certainly been hitting the middle all the while, and that again shows that the batsman is in cracking form. Kumar Sangakkara took his time over this innings, but just look at this delightful shot. It really wasn't very, very short, but he picks it up very quickly.
He's certainly having a profound effect in this team. That one's outside off stump, but he's beaten extra cover as well. That's running away towards the boundary. Will the fieldsman cut it off? Think you probably know. Yes, he's got it. Klusner down there getting his foot in to stop that one going for 4. And so they settled for 3 that time. Well, Sangakkara is putting his foot to the floor now.
Yes, again, this time he casts his attention on the offside. And he's got such good balance, Sangakkara, that really is able to put out any delivery which is worth putting away on either side of the wicket.
So that's his score, 59 of 77 deliveries. He started very slowly. Straight to the fieldsman, unfortunate from Sri Lanka's point of view. But again, a good delivery. I think he's got the right idea. There's obviously been a bit of a discussion amongst the South Africans about what they've got to do at the end, and that discussion revolved around bowling it up and straight. And it seems to me that Ntini is putting what they've decided to do into practice. Well, this has turned out to be a good over from Sri Lanka's point of view. 9 runs from it. It's 171 for 5. He's hit that one well too, and the placement's beautiful. Pollock's down there, well fielded by him, sliding across this lush outfield.
Yes, Sangakkara's strength is that he's able to whip deliveries into whichever area he wishes to. He's got very strong wrists, and as he gave Pollock plenty of ground to cover.
Pollock up in the block. Oh, this will be close. Yes, he's got him. That's a run out. Well, it was bound to happen at some stage. The Sri Lankans seem to me, no matter what, end up affecting a run out of some sort, or someone is a victim. In this case, it's Sangakkara actually who's run out. They just have a look at this. Just watch what a mix-up this is. Right in the block hole. He headed down the pitch. Sangakkara was on his way. Then there was a no, and really it was. It looks as if Sangakkara had a little glare down there at Upul Chandana, who probably said yes and then no. Well, they're not all that happy about it. And of course, Upul Sangakkara will be disappointed he's not going to see this innings through. 179 for 6. Outside off stump, that's running away down to the boundary. That'll be 4. That relieves the pressure a little bit. Yes, well, we've got to say that that was a wide delivery. It was the sort of delivery that deserves this sort of punishment.
And certainly a shot of a batsman, Chamin Dewas, is certainly good bat. He's shown that in recent times.
That's well fielded. Oh, he's got him. There we are. Another run out. Well, here we go again. It's something that the Sri Lankans seem to me to indulge in far too much.
Well, this is turning out to be a little bit of panic from Sri Lanka's point of view. Upul Chandana again, good bounce for Graham Smith there. And Chamin Dewas way down the crease. There was no chance whatsoever. So Chamin Dewas goes run out once again. Just for 7 runs, Sri Lanka 188 for 7.
Kaushal Lukuarachi is the new batsman. Hit a nice 6 to finish things off on Friday. Well, there we are. He's got his 50, and hopefully he settles down now. Back for the second as well. So his 5th 50 in his 123rd match. His first against South Africa. It's 190 for 7. up goes the finger. Plum LBW. That was up and dead straight. And well, I suppose in situations like this, you'd expect wickets to fall. You've got to play across the line a little bit when the ball's up. That looked to me like a full toss.
Yes, again, he would be disappointed the way he played that delivery. Lukwarachi had been looking to try and hit it or whip it through the onside, lost it in the flight and was hit right flush in front. And there was no doubt in umpire Gamini Silva's mind that that was out. Lukwarachi goes LBW 2 carries for 3 and Sri Lanka goes to 8 wicket for 198.
Zoysa, the new batsman, flicks that one away nicely. Oh, and nearly another run out. Well, I don't know what Upul Chandana thinks he's doing.
Yes, I think he seems to be giving target practice to fielders at the non-strikers end, and this is the third time we would have seen a run out there. He was nowhere in the frame of Upul Chandana.
He likes to hit them in the air down the ground, does Zoysa. It's not a great time to come into bat into the 48th over.
His batting certainly has come of age. We've seen him play some delightful innings. In fact, winning a one-day game against the Australians early in the year.
There's a quick single. Zoysa striding down the far end. So I hope the South Africans had their breakfast this morning, because they're not going to get much time for lunch. They've been very slow out there, and they may well be docked a few bucks as well. I don't know whether that's still the formula or the format here. Well, I suspect that Clive Lloyd will be imposing a fine of some sort on the South Africans.
Yes, of course, he'll take or give them some allowance for some of the stoppages. We had Upul Chandana having some repairs done. That's nicely down the ground. That brings up the 200. We'll look for the second here.
Well, there's some Sri Lankans in the crowd are pretty happy with the 200. Based on what happened here on Friday, it's not quite enough, but my colleague up here in the commentary box seems to think that they could be in business, and based on history, I've got to tell you that he could be correct. 208 is the average score in day matches at Premadasa. Another single. Down the ground again. He plays that straight drive pretty raw. Pollock there picking it up and going down the far end. This will be close. Well, Boucher was confronted with a situation there where he had this giant running towards him. Should I say loping towards him. The ball was coming down that end of the wicket. Just have a look at this. Just watch the ball come in as the batsman runs away. Oh, it was well done by Pollock. Down the ground again. Just the single. I think just to get this performance into context, it's worthwhile just mentioning again that at one stage Sri Lanka were 86 for 5, and that was at the halfway mark after 25 overs. So at that point they were in all sorts of trouble. And then thanks to Upul Chandana and Kumar Sangakkara, on 93. Oh, he's lost the bat. He's lost the bat, and it was heading in the direction of the square leg umpire as well. And just for a second there, Billy Bowden, well, he looked to me as well, here we are. It's a laugh a minute at the moment.
As you see, Upul Chandana in all sorts of situations, apart from the run out, we also, and there you are, the bat. And just look at Billy Bowden. Is he going to catch it or take evasive action?
last ball and he's bowled him out. Well, he had to go for it, there's no doubt about that. Comprehensively bowled, so Zoysa bowled by Callis for 6, and the Sri Lankan innings has now come to an end. 213 off their 50 overs, and only 3 runs off that last over.
So 50 overs, 213 for 9. South Africa, we're very pleased with that. There's certainly a couple of guys getting going, Sangakkara and also Chundan, who not out 61 at the end. I think South Africa will be pleased with that because the average score here is 211. And South African bowlers, all of them, done a pretty good job. Just 1 or 2 a little bit on the expensive side. But the wickets mainly shares by Callis, outstanding, 3 for 20 off 6. And also 2 for 50 for McCray and Tini off his 10. 1 apiece to Pollock and also Lance. Okay, so South Africa got some batting to do now. And of course, their target will be 214 runs to win. They're going to go 4.28 per over.
Shot face seems to be off the mark. Yeah, comfortably. I'll tell you what, he'll be pretty pleased with that because in fact he's going to get 2. A few noughts. It has been referred, but it looked pretty, unless he eased up, and he's got me going a little bit, but he looked like he was in pretty easy to me.
No, I agree. I think he was home, just judging by the body language of the batsman. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, he's comfortably home. There it hits the stumps. Oops, is that... might be between frames here that we've got this one. Let's see. Yeah, just in.
Disappointing, Tony, that having just won the Asia Cup and so on, more people haven't come here to support their side.
Yeah, just a little surprising on a Sunday, I suppose, in Colombo, which is where all the people are. A lot of people live in the vicinity, I suppose. They get a lot of cricket down here. Bear in mind that we've got the 2 grounds in Colombo, and recently, of course, you've had the tournament, the Asia Cup. In fact, there are more than 2 grounds, two that are used a lot, but there are 4 grounds here in all. So the problem is, how much can you take out of a city?
Good stroke. Very good stroke. Well stopped. You've got a hand on it. It'll save 1 run. They'll go through for 2, but would have been 3 otherwise. Sanajjar Surya, the fielder.
I think Vice was hoping that he stopped that one because I think he's itching to have a go at Gibbs. But it was a good effort. I don't think we can count this one as an error. He dived full length, got a hand on it. Probably, you're right, probably saved the run.
A little bit of away movement from Soysa. Again, Smith not getting quite as far across as he was for Taminda Vas. Clipped away, I get a couple, more than a couple. He's timed that very sweetly. It might get to the boundary. I don't know whether he saved that. It's a jolly good effort if he has. No doubt there'll be some chatter from umpire to umpire. Nicely flicked off his, well, about knee-high, really. Now, how's he doing? Excellent. Well done. Oh, there's a double error, I think, because it's going to cost 2. You get a nasty little bobble there in front of him, or is it just lack of concentration?
Well, I think he did get a little bobble, but it's amazing it went between his legs. Maharoof is the substitutes field. Oh yeah, nasty one, really nasty one that is. But I'm afraid he's got to get a demerit mark for that one because it should have hit something.
Hold him out. Choice of shot was incorrect. Don't think the ball was short enough. In fact, I know it wasn't. You've only got to look at the mess that Soysa has made of those stumps.
That was a diabolical shot. It wasn't there to be played. It shows a lack of concentration. He's obviously just gone blank. Look at it, stayed down. It didn't even hit high on the stumps. They've gone all over the place. It wasn't there for the pull shot, and Zoysa has struck. And so, the wicket they needed, they've got one, 15 for 1.
He's come in number 3. Perfectly capable player. He's scored hundreds in this form of the game. He's been used as a pinch hitter by the South Africans in the past.
That's neatly played away, but it's brilliantly fielded by the Sri Lankans. Jayawardene, the fielder, and this is the type of fielding that really would put pressure on the South African batting.
Gee, Ranji, Blokes don't mind giving support to the home side. Every time someone puts in a good bit of fielding, there's a scream and a shout from around the ground. Nice to see the encouragement.
Well, they've been right behind the Sri Lankan team. I think that really also accounts for part of the success. Is when you have your supporters there, you also tend to lift your game to try and please them. It's a good delivery. They pick up the single.
Just one run.
Some moment for Juan Souza.
I think an indication again, Range, this track is not as good as we think it is. That one's almost just holding up a little bit, and Nicky Mayer going through a little bit too early. In the air, cries of catch it. Looking to drive on the onside, holding up a fraction, ending up short and wicket on the leg side.
Oh, that was beautifully played. Played it on the up. He had the win and just steered it through that area on the offside. The first boundary in the innings.
It's taken some time, hasn't it, for the first 4. Another indication, Smith struggled the other night. He got a few runs, but he struggled the other night with his timing. Callis was the only South African batsman, or Boucher, but that was towards the end when he came and played quite a few shots. Callis was the only one out there that was timing the ball very well.
Tucked away on the onside. They look for 2 here. Plenty of ground for Gopal Chandan to cover, but he's got a long, good arm.
Hope you're enjoying this broadcast, obviously on 10 Sports, throughout India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Nepal. In the UK rather, it's on ZTV. Willow TV in the USA and the Caribbean, Supersport in Africa and Surrounds, and Rupa Bahini in Sri Lanka. Did I get that right, Ranj?
Perfectly. I think you're doing very well with the pronunciations.
Glad someone thinks so.
So it's Nicky Boyer to take on Chaminda Was. Chaminda Was just given away 13 runs in these 4 overs. It's a great shot, but Samrat Jayasuri is very quick across the turf. It's pulled it away. So to Chandana once again scampering around the boundary there. Just restricting it to 2.
You probably won't get a better example of the muscle that Graham Smith uses when playing strokes like that. Very good fielding, but the grunt as well was there from Smith.
Was indeed a strong man as well, and those powerful shoulders coming into the shot, particularly when it's pulled around.
And he's also trying to upset the length of Chaminda Vas. That was outside his crease by some distance. He enjoyed it.
That's a good delivery to complete the over. 5 off it, 27 for 1. Hits it down the ground. That's a good looking shot. That certainly is the area where there's plenty of runs. The men are inside the ring and plenty of open spaces. That was hit in the air and very well played.
Superb shot, absolutely superb. It was the perfect length that he was looking for. He could get underneath it from the tall Nuwan Zoysa and just launch it straight back over his head. Very good shot indeed. Just the one bounce and over that rope.
So The plan quite clear and evident here with Nicky Boer's entry in so early in the innings. So could Nuwan Soiza just shorten that length a bit, a few adjustments in the field. That's a wide slog, looking to go at the top once again. So Soiza just widening the delivery.
He spotted that mid-off and mid-on. They're both inside the circle, of course. He spotted that they're both wide. This one was looking to go straight back over Graham Smith's head, if you like. That's where he was looking when he looked up, but unfortunately the ball ended up for Nicky Boer, that is. The ball ended up in the gloves of Kumar Sangakkara. But he fancied that one too.
Whatever runs they would get at this initial 15 overs would come probably from Nicky Boer over the top. This is in there and very well played again. The timing was right. He just adjusted his shot really without going straight, and that was perfectly played.
He looks like he's got a brand new bat, Nicky Boer. There's not too many marks on it. There might be a couple of white marks on it now. But the timing of this shot, we've looked already and seen how Graham Smith really struggled with his timing. Look at the timing here. Right out of the middle, and that was gone for all money as soon as it left the blade. Once again, the drive.
Yes, he did adjust his shot to the slow delivery, and again it was the placement that look of despair from Nuwan Soiza.
One ball away from completing 10 overs. This is when spin was introduced in game 1.
Going there, and that must be out. Yes, there's a man under it. And Nicky Boer goes. So Dilshan, the fielder, who checked his shot, but it's good bowling from Nuwan Soiza.
Nicky Boer was laughing up until ball number 6, and it's Nuwan Soiza now who's got the biggest smile. There was a little bit of a quiet shot from Nicky Boer when that bat followed through and skied the ball in the air. Obviously something a little bit different out of this deck. Bit of extra bounce maybe. Dilshan took a good catch with 2 hands. That's the important thing about it. And Nuwan Soiza will be very, very happy he's got rid of him after seeing 2 deliveries dispatched to the boundary. Oh, and a bit of a stare as well. The last laugh to Nuwan Soiza. So Nicky Boer departs. 14 runs. South Africa now 35 for 2.
Jack Cullis, the new batsman, and he was expected to come in at first drop when the first wicket fell that of Gibbs. But he's come in the fall of the last wicket, the wicket off. Nicky Boer averages 56.09. Bowled in! What a good delivery from Nuwan Soiza, dragging that back on Graham Smith. Again going through the gate. Graham Smith seems to be having a problem here with the bat and pad.
Wow, that is a big wicket. The Sri Lankans now to celebrate, and they get a good player out. Nuwan Soiza has enjoyed that, that's for sure. He got a wicket. Nicky Boer in the previous over. This is a big inside nick. There is a gate left. And a good deflection on that leg stump. Goodness me, that is a huge wicket. Graham Smith is a very determined cricketer. Have a look at this. That's a very different face than we saw about 10 balls ago, that's for sure. So Graham Smith, the skipper, goes for 14 runs. Now South Africa 36 for 3.
Jacques Surath, the new batsman, averaging 42.83, 774 runs, and he'll have to do a lot to try and get this innings back on rail. That's a good delivery, big shout, and it's been given out. Yes, it is. Jack Cullis, he didn't have a very, very long stride forward. Nuwan Soiza once again getting the ball on target and hitting it just below the needle. So Soiza, he's on fire here.
He's imitating a Cheshire cat at the moment, Nuwan Soiza. Things weren't looking that great for him not so long ago, but now they're looking sensational. I was talking about the fact that they were dragging the ball across him. And has it pitched in line? That's the question. It might have just pitched outside the line of leg stump. But he's gone for the big shout anyway. Of course, the umpires don't have that red line to have a look. But on our first replay, it looks like it's gone just outside the line of leg stump. So Jacques Cullis has to go. He didn't get off the mark. And South Africa now, while it's looking a bit pear-shaped, 37 for 4.
So Nuwan Soiza has been rocking the South African. Sean Bullock is the new batsman, averaging 23.89.
Oh, there's pressure. Might be trouble. It's a good time the call was negated.
Well, there was certainly a call of yes from someone there. I think it might have been Pollock actually, non-strikers in. The ball went marginally behind square on the offside. Karachi was the man that came in, obviously realised had to shy at the non-strikers end, and Pollock would have just got in had the timber been disturbed. Yeah, no call or two from Rudolph, he wasn't certain.
Big chance for caught behind. How long has that appeal gone for? And a big no from Billy Bowden.
Yes, there's no doubt that the Sri Lankans thought they had him out. This replay will be very interesting. We're back live here. Chaminda Vaas has had his drink, and he looks... he's having a little... he's asking a little question there. Just let's see if we can pick up anything now. That's an off-cutter. And, big noise. Big noise that went through, and a spontaneous response. I think that the umpire's made a mistake here. Oh, boy. That beats out. That's got to be out. Yes, off you go. Beautiful delivery there from Zaisar. Pitch just short of a length just outside off stump. That's 5 wickets for him. He has bowled beautifully today.
Well done, big fella. Fantastic effort. Oh, the skipper loves him. And look at it. It's another good delivery. Look at the seam. Brilliant. And just a feather opens it up a little bit. Very similar to the last one with Chaminda Vaas. He appeals there. He knows it's out. And there goes Rudolph. He's gone for 4. And who's to control? We've got a problem, South Africa. 40 for 5.
Well, it's Mark Boucher that's come to the crease now. Germany just keeps disappearing further and further down the batting order. Well, he's got across nicely there. I think that might have come off the far pad. Boss, the fieldsman, and he's got a good arm. Runs given, so it was off the bat. And that's 45 for 5. Yeah! Going to the wide one, he's been bowling for that, no doubt about that. Look where Karachi has been trying to get the ball up and outside off stump. And he's got it right, that little fellow. There was no need for the umpire to get involved in that one. An orthodox drive to a whitish leg spinner straight to slip.
Yeah, good low down catch to Jay Awadana. Look how low he is. He's in fantastic position there to take it, and got great hands, this fella. He has got fantastic hands, and yes, that's the bed finger. Don't worry about that. And Karachi gets another wicket here, so they're in real trouble now. The dangerous Boucher, he goes for 4. South Africa 50 for 6. JP Duminy comes to the crease here, age of 20, and he's got a great opportunity here now to bat with Shaun Pollock to make a big score, and it's amazing. He's a batsman and he's coming in at number 8.
It's nicely played, and that will run away, I think. Only just. Oh, hasn't it? He's crashed into the... No, he's hurt himself. He's hurt himself. He's got to get up and throw it in. They run 4 anyway because of the calm advantage after he stopped the ball, but here's the case again of a key player.
Also a key player with an Achilles heel problem. Achilles tendon problem. This is him stopping the ball. That's brilliant work, so there's no problems that I meant for anyway, so it doesn't matter, but bang! Straight into that sign. He's took that away. There's a bit of a drain there as well, which also might have been the major problem for Chaminda. Just as he moves the signboard, there's a drain just there.
Very quick. It's quite interesting. I read an article somewhere whereby it was indicated that Gary Kirsten, who's now involved very much with the UCB, having retired from playing, is still involved with the team as a what's the actual expression? He's a selector, but he's also a performance sort of talent scout type
Enhancer again.
Enhancer, whatever. And he's had long chats with JP, and some of the advice that he's been, well, what they've been talking about is his role will be the sort of John T. Rhodes role of being busy, getting to the wicket, being busy, knocking it around, and he's certainly very quick between the wickets, which John T. was, and he's got a stroke that John T. used to play quite a lot as well.
I'll come back to that in a sec, but this is an indication of how he's learning. That's the wrong, and he's seen one of those early today, and he picked it up quite easily. Knew where it was going and just slapped it back at a square.
Already I've just had a little look at JP Duminy, and I've been impressed with him up to now. He's just a young kid learning, and he's used his feet pretty well to the spinners, and you know, South Africa might get beaten here, but one thing's for sure, I hope that they persevere with this young lad, but get him up the order a little bit, give him an opportunity. Just gone over 6 runs per over, and he's quite willing to play shots and not block it. And he gets into that position very, very well. Most impressed with that. Picks up the length very early, Ranger, doesn't he? And then gets on the back foot and whips it across. And good technique.
Yes, one always wonders and asks the question why the South Africans have been hesitant in using him up so higher in the order, and kept on pushing him down and down. It really doesn't convey the right message. It's really a question of confidence and trust in ability once they decided to play him.
Oh, Chicky!
Well, he would have got over his nerves now. He'll settle down. I don't care how old you are or whatever, but when you play your second match, you suffer from nerves a fair bit, and everything feels foreign to you, and you feel that, am I good enough to be on the ground with such great players around you? So you would have got over that a little bit by now. Looking for 2, and they'll get them easily. Well, one thing's for sure, batting with Sean Pollock at the other end, he'll help him out as well and advise him along the way. And, I'm hoping JP Duminy can make a real good score here.
Cuts it away, but there's a man covering very quickly at the part of the fielder. Into the over, 28 done, 80 for 6. So certainly the Sri Lankans can't be complacent with a situation like this. Dilshan now into the attack, taking over from Lukuarachi, who's bowled a long spell. 1 for 17 in 7.
He's nearly held out here at McGuigan, right off the toe of the bat, and oh, that's a good effort there. That's worth a shout and given. Really, he's been on the back foot a lot. On the back foot a lot, whipping a lot of balls from middle stump and off stump. And finally, Dilshan breaks his partnership. And Duminy's gone. Let's have a look, see if it... Pitches online, that's okay. Goes on. The height is a major concern. I think that's a pretty good decision.
Yes, a clever delivery from Dilshan. Could see that Duminy was looking for the one that was spinning away, went deep into his crease, and the ball just held his line and saw him in front. So Duminy, useful little innings, 22, South Africa 94 for 7. So Lance Cruson, the new batsman in, he's averaging 42.27 and a strike rate of 90.3.
So 5 runs off the over so far, 4 of them to Klusner, and the 100 up now for South Africa. Well, there's the first sign from Klusner. Coming back for the second. Is Billy going to refer it? He is going to refer it. There's the lot, and there's the big one. Now, when Billy gives that sign, it's often a sign, but it's very close indeed. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, he played to the audience there, all right. Paused for a while. I think he's probably going to be in. It takes a long time. Whoops, he's a long way out there. It takes a long time for the ball to get back to the stumps, and Billy right on the line there and having a bit of fun with the crowd.
Yeah, no danger there for Sean Pollock. Good running in the end from the South Africans, but it's the first sign, I think, from Klusner that maybe it's time to wind up. You have to be a rocket scientist to work that out when you've got to go to basically 10 and over. Here he is looking at that chosen zone all the time, just a quick little squiz. Good shot. And that's 4. So that's the first boundary for a long, long time, and also the first boundary for Lance Klusner.
There's 17 overs to be precise since the last 4, and that was out there, and Klusner, I suppose, gave it what it deserved.
Oh, he's put it down. Had a couple of grabs at it, I think maybe 2 or 3. He's disappointed in himself. Was hit very hard by Pollock.
Yeah, it was hit very hard. It bobbed up quite nicely for him, though. He got himself into quite a good position. It's come back at him very fast. Got him onto the chest there, then nearly caught it, then went backhanded at it, and then almost off the knee. Well, that is very frustrating.
Coming back for the second. Now this might be interesting. There was a yes from Dilshan. Billy's gone for the big sign to the third umpire. And I think the Sri Lankans are reasonably confident here.
No chance. Looked to me as if he was home. Wardener's throw on the bounce there in was a pretty good throw, quite near to the stumps, but I think the bat got home by about 6 inches there.
He's hit that well. And that is the first boundary for Sean Pollock. So it's been a long time coming, and eventually Sean has advanced down the track and just slapped him over the top for 4. So 49 now, Sean Pollock, off 74 balls. And it's a fine connection. Right, now to take it through to the end of this game, it's going to be Dean Jones and Robin Jackman.
Thanks, Michael. And the wicket again. Now, both Dino and I have been obviously watching the last half. We've both been discussing as to whether this little assault shouldn't have started about half an hour ago. Maybe a little more than that. Because it's a big ask now. Just under 12. Here we go again. He's got an outside edge, and it might race away for 4, and it will. So Pollock goes to 50, and the onslaught has at last begun.
It's his first against Sri Lanka, and it's his 8th 50 in his 216th match, and he's got 53 from 76, just 2 boundaries. Only 7 boundaries in this innings after 43.4 overs. Brilliant catch. Atupatu diving to the right. Oh, he is a good fielder. He's fielded very well. They all have today. They've been brilliant. And I'm really happy for the way the Sri Lankans have worked very hard on their game, particularly in the fielding department. But there's his dad. He's so proud. He's, I've hit him 1,000 balls, haven't I? I'm really happy for him.
Wonderful, wonderful catch from the captain. Hit pretty well by Pollock. I don't think as hard as he can hit it, but he's got to dive a long way low to the ground. He takes it, and he knows that's game, set and match. He knows. Well caught, sir. So Pollock goes, eventually 54 from 78 balls faced, and South Africa staring at it now, 145 for 8. Alan Dawson, the man who's come in at number 10. If you don't look at the two lines, matches and runs, and look at the rest, average of 43, strike rate of 97. Down the ground, one bounce for 4.
Well, it's not like Billy Bowden to miss something like that. Batsman not crossing, but anyway, the game goes on, and here it is here. A good shot here, nice and straight. He knows he's got enough of it.
It's a good shot. He'll get 4. I'll tell you what, that ball is very dark, Dino. There's no harm in asking for it to be changed, but a good stroke from Dawson. Important for Dawson to get a single off the first ball. He does. Oh! I've got a feeling that ball carried, you know. I said it does. It just is sort of rather inanely, as if he swept it along the ground, but I'm not sure that that wasn't a catch.
Well, he hit it right in the screws. It's in the air. That's carried, Robin. He just couldn't quite, and he's gone too hard to it. And the only real blemish of the day.
Good shot. He's hit that hard. Well played, Alan Dawson.
Yeah, he's got 15 from 13. For number 10. Balanced, didn't try to overhit it, but he's got enough bat on that to hit it over, get underneath the ball, which is the first problem he got. He's hit it flat, good shot. Tell you what, if he gets not out here, he'll be averaging 60 today.
His strike rate of 102.
He'll be opening and Dan Buller.
Up in the air. And out. If he can't bowl him out at the end, he'll catch him out for Surinder Das. Good effort from Dawson. Did everything that he could have asked of himself and his team asked of him. But very much looks like the end of the game.
Yeah, top edge here, and Surinder Das getting underneath it. And he mightn't have the ball in his hand, but he watches it straight in. And Dr. Death is always in the game in the last 12 balls of a match, isn't he? The ball's in there for up in the air for an eternity. Anyway, Dawson goes for 15. South Africa 176 for 9.
Kantini
Last wicket, boy!
comes in at
Last
number
wicket,
11. He can hit the ball a long way, we know. Klusner clubs that away to mid-wicket. It's game, set and match. The Sri Lankans have played very well today, not so much with the bat, but certainly with the ball. Dilshan finishes with 4 for 52. The real man who blew South Africa away was right up front, and that was Dr. Death's mate, Johan Soizer. 5 for 26 in 8 overs, just rocked the visitors back. But Dino, South Africa were very disappointed.
Graham Smith, thought you were going okay early on today. The bowlers did pretty well, especially at the end.
Yeah, I thought we did well with the ball. You can't fault the ball today. The batters let us down big time. It wasn't a 40 for 6 wicket. 210 was definitely on in this wicket, and we just let ourselves down. We're in a hole, and we've got to get ourselves out of it.
Well, obviously, after the first match on Friday, you sat down and started to work out a bit of a plan and what you needed to do. One of those things was to get the ball up at the end. The bowlers responded pretty well. Discipline was there. Anything you can point to which suggests that one aspect of your game seems to be working and the other aspect lets you down?
We can't put our finger on it at the moment. I think we're just in a hole, and we've got to get ourselves out of it. At the moment, we're playing like club cricketers, and we've got to sort ourselves out.
Right, it's now my pleasure to name the man of the match, and boy, did he have a great game. Nuwan Zoysa. And of course the captain, he's got a check here from Janashakti as well, Marvin Adaparu. Well, going really well. That was a good performance today. You happy today?
Yeah, not with the bat. Probably would have done better with the bat. But when we got on the field, everybody knew what we had to defend, and we did brilliantly, I thought.
Nothing in the pitch? Do you think it was just the batting, the pitch any different from yesterday? Oh, sorry, from Friday?
It was a bit slower, on the slower side than on Friday, I thought. And we always wanted the spinners to have, like, get them out because we played an extra spinner. So I think it worked brilliantly. Having that kind of start from Zoysa and Vasi, really from the top, helped us.